Anyway, guys, just introduce yourselves. Start off with.
How you going? We're Topnovil. I'm DEE DEE. Play guitar, vocals.
Oh, that's me. I'm LUCKO. I play guitar as well.
I'm Carl. I play drums and audible loud noises.
I'm Marcus. I play bass. That's about it.
And I'm Matt. Cheers.
Hey, Matt.
Cheers.
Hey, mate.
First question, Topnovil, where'd that come from?
Man, that's you start with the hard ones.
Yeah.
It's just a made up thing, man. It's just something that we come up with when we're in high school. The band started in high school. It was just something that was a little bit backwards. Yeah, it's just something we come up with.
Yeah, because I tried to Google it. I'm going, what does Topnovil mean? What does Topnovil mean? And it's just kept coming up with you guys. That was it.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of it, because when you Google it, it's only stuff about us that come up. You know, it's not like you don't get a whole heap of other stuff. So that's kind of, we come up with the name before, I think. Well, fuck, I don't know when Google started, but it wasn't around. There wasn't a lot of stuff like that, but it's worked out well.
Excellent. I've been playing you guys for the last couple of weeks. I love it. I wanted to go see you guys last Saturday down at Depot.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't get a babysitter, so I had to give that one a miss, which was devastating. Couldn't find the keys to the back shed, so I couldn't lock them in there. So yeah, I had to miss out. I had to miss out on your show, but you're from Wollongong, so I'm here in Corrimal. So yeah. So hopefully you'll play again soon, and I'll be able to come and see us.
Yeah, mate. I've got a few things in the pipework coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last January coming up.
Yep. No Compromise. Where did that come from? What's like that? It's my favourite. I love it's the best song I've heard for a while.
I
Best album.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I guess it's a topic that I usually write about a fair bit. It's just living life to your fullest, and like the chorus says, no regrets, no compromise. Don't let put shit on you and put you down. Lift yourself back up and just
Have you guys got anything coming out soon?
Well, we've been writing a bit of stuff during lockdown and stuff like that. We've got we've started getting in the works for demos and stuff like that. We've got a few songs. We'll probably have we usually release something before we head over to Europe. So it'll probably be another EP and a 7-inch type thing before we head over to Europe, like mid to late next year.
Oh, hope you can. Knowing this thing, hopefully the borders won't be shut.
Yeah.
And the generic question that I think everyone asks, influences. I myself, I feel a bit of rancid in there, but it's in your book.
Yeah, well, I guess we all have different bands we're into, and that rancid is definitely, staple part of the diet for all of us. But like the Bouncing Souls, to anything, man, like Exploited.
Pretty eclectic. We're pretty eclectic. There's a lot of SoCal and skater punk influences there, and even some old school, with Suicidal Tendencies and the Exploited, and a little bit of the UK punk creeps in our influences as well. So it's pretty diverse.
I think with our songwriting, we try and we pull from our influences and stuff like that, and I guess that's why there's a lot of difference in the songs. There's slower ones, faster ones. We've even got ska songs and stuff like that.
That's where. That's where I got the rancid idea. The bit of a ska I heard there.
Yeah.
Touring Australia. Don't know what's happening there.
When we can.
We're allowed to leave the state.
I think it's with COVID, it's one of those situations where it's really hard to commit yourself to time off work, even though we love doing this. What we do all have commitments, and it's really hard to commit yourself to something like interstating we've never really had to deal with a pandemic before, and with locked borders, you know, if you take time off and then that you can't, the show's still going, but being an interstate band, you can't get there. Like it's sort of, it'd be a bit of a buzzkill, you know, having to turn around and head home just because you can't get in the States. So it has slowed things down a little bit. But yeah, there are.
We're lucky though. We got to Melbourne and Brisbane in the last gap between lockdowns.
Yeah, we're very lucky because that was in a
Yeah.
space of about a month, maybe two. That was borders were opened up just enough. I mean, they were starting to get a bit strict in Queensland. We were wearing masks and stuff, but we did Queensland and Melbourne, and also in that thing we played a sold out Newcastle Stadium with FMX guys, which was amazing. Like that was probably the biggest thing we've done in a long time because of everything shut down. Yeah, it was a sold out entertainment centre. It was amazing.
Yeah, excellent. Have you ever backed up any overseas bands that have come over?
Yeah, heaps, man. I've been pretty lucky. Casualties, Exploited.
Wow.
Yeah, DOA. Man,
Wow.
US Bombs.
Yep.
Look at the posters.
Yeah, the business. In the early days, we had no fun at all. MXPX, stuff like that. But when we go overseas, man, we've played a couple of the Ramones. Loose Ramones. When we go overseas, though, we're lucky enough we'll play festivals, and then like there's a poster up there I can see like one festival we played with GBH, Suicidal Tendencies, Agnostic Front, like Gorilla Biscuits, Propaganda, like Comeback Kid, like that's just where we go, and we're real lucky, man. Like there's another like that's kind of what when you get over there. And all the bands from over America and UK are traveling at the same time. We're kind of lucky enough where we get to play some of their side shows as well. So we'll be the opening act for, say, Total Chaos and Casualties, or we'll do the Exploiteds, like, Munich show in Germany or something like that. So for us, like, when we get overseas, man, we're very lucky where, like, we've got a really good tour manager that hooks it all up for us when we're over there.
Keeps them busy. Keeps it busy.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I actually interviewed a band last week. I don't know if you've heard of them, Master Nate and the Reprobates.
Nah.
They're a Canadian band. They actually sound in the same category as you guys. Like their influences is Rancid, so they've got that ska-ish, but then they've got that hardcore punk as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I have to check them out.
Yeah, they were a bunch of, listen, they were a bunch of great guys. And Crushing the Carpenters. I heard.
Yeah, man, Chris is a great dude. I know him quite well.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, because I interviewed them last week and they actually mentioned you guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, we've been talking about putting some shows together once everything starts opening up. Yeah, good dudes. I watched them do an amazing. They did I played a gig where we did all a cover set, and they did a Clash cover set. Man, they were amazing.
Oh, man.
Really great job. Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that. Yeah. That's funny that you brought that up, because they brought that up as well.
That was good.
So how did Dap Day go? Was it a good gig?
Yeah, it was great. It was. We did that 2 weeks in a row because with the restricted numbers and things, it sold out within 20 minutes. Apparently, the first show. I mean, they're only allowing 50 or 60 people in there. It's a small venue, but it's a great venue. That it would fit a lot more in, but with the restrictions. And then so they put a second show on, and I think there was maybe 75 at that or something like that. But once it opens up, that's a really cool venue that's pretty close to us, and it's good to be able to play there.
It is.
Yeah, there's Blast the Stereo. Great album. When did what were you thinking when you were making that album?
I was getting guitarless.
Guitar lessons, yeah. That's why it's so good.
No, literally though. I joined Topnovil, and I'd never played solos in a band before, but luckily I had a whole back catalogue of, well, at that point it was a whole back catalogue. We hadn't recorded an album yet, but there was still lots of songs to learn, lots of solos in them. and I worked out what to play, but I didn't know the theory behind why. And so when we wrote a new song, I couldn't just go, oh, DD, what's this in? This is in E. Oh, okay, here's where I have to play. Like, I'd have to sit there and work it out. No, like, it's a pain in the butt. So I took myself off to guitar lessons and turned out good. That was right before Blaster Stereo. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So am I right? You all chuck in on the vocals. Am I right with that?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, backing vocals. Yeah, everyone has a yell.
That's one of the things we liked from bands like Rancid and the Bouncing Souls. They have really strong backing vocals.
Strong gang choruses.
Yeah.
Excellent. So how long have you guys been together? That's a big question, because I only started listening to you guys 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Well, I think the band, we kicked off in 97. So what's that, mate? It was coming up. We had a 20-year birthday a few years ago. It's got to be nearly 25 years. Yeah. So, we'll probably do something big for the 25-year mark.
Wow.
But, and we've been pretty constant that whole time. I think there was about a year and a half where we did other projects and things and that. But we've been going pretty much that whole time. I mean, I guess LUCKO's been in it now for about 15 years, I'd say, like alongside me for it. And
I joined the year before the 10-year.
Yes. So a lot of the songwriting and the structure of the songs has been me and LUCKO with like musically and stuff like that. And so that's pretty much and that's when we've released most of these last albums. So that's pretty much where the sounds come from.
Yep.
But and I guess in the last maybe 8 years is when we started pushing overseas and going to Europe, going to Japan and stuff like that, and getting signed. We've had releases through Pirate Press in America and a few things like that. So it's opened up a lot of doors for us, like later on in the band's thing. But yeah, man, like we still go at every gig. Like it's a new day and a fresh thing, man. Like it's something that we love doing, and we give it our all every time we go. And it's like every new gig and everywhere we go is a new adventure with new people that we meet, man. And that's why we do it. We love doing it. It's great.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. How did Japan love their punk, don't they?
Oh, it was amazing, man.
Yeah, I could imagine. They love their punk.
Japan crowds were exactly like you'd think a stereotypical Japanese crowd to be, like you'd imagine them to be. Like they were crazy. Like you'd have everything from punks with the full studs and everything to businessmen that turn up in their suits with their briefcases, and by the end they've got their shirt off, swinging above their head, and their briefcase and everything's off to the side. Like no security between anyone.
No security. Kids were in there. Like it was like it was amazing, man. We played we did six shows, seven shows in 6 days. Yeah.
Wow.
And every show was amazing, man. We had a really good tour manager that he drove the minibus, and he made sure we got to see all the sights and stuff like that. Like took us to a traditional Japanese hut, and against the rules of tattoos and that we got into one of the hot baths and that was that was pretty great.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Who's the if you could support a band, who would you like to support? What's your number one band that you would love to play with?
Man, we'll take on any challenge, man. We love supporting it. It's cool to get to see them and play alongside them and stuff like that as well. But half the fun of playing with these big bands is getting to play to a crowd maybe that you wouldn't normally get to play to, of that some size and stuff like that. So half the fun's trying to win that crowd over. You know what I mean? Like it's
for sure.
And some bands that you've met too.
Yeah,
you have such a good relationship. There's some bands that we've known from overseas that are older than us. They've been around longer than 20, 25 years, and you have such a good rapport with them that those gigs can be fun too, just because you get along so well, and so it's I think we've been lucky enough to have probably ticked off a lot of boxes of the bands that we would have probably answered that question with, and I guess obviously Rancid would be a tick off one for us, but
we not played with them, but we played with Lars's other side projects and stuff like that. Got to meet up with him. You know, he tracked us down and said that he'd had our albums and that. And I mean, to hear that from him was mind blowing. You know, like I met him in Sydney when I was about 18, and he remembered that. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Like being in Europe and having him come looking for you, it was actually pretty good.
That's amazing. I've always wanted to talk to Lars and ask him why doesn't he like Fat Mike? Like, I don't know, man. I myself don't like him. I think he's but
yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's probably a funny story behind it, man. Fat Mike seems like the kind of guy that'd piss you off pretty quick.
Yeah. And I think so.
Lars has got a sense of humour, but he's a pretty serious dude, man. A story of when we played with him in where was it? We're in France. When we played with he was playing the next day with Last Resort. We stayed up all night partying with some of the boys out of some of the other bands and that. And Lars was trying to get some sleep, and we heard him screaming out in the night to keep it down, like because we all had hotel rooms near each other. And it's pretty funny.
Drinking beer stolen from suicidal tendencies with members of Signal.
Wow.
What is that?
Murphy's Law.
And then getting shushed by Lars from Rancid at the second story.
And of course, the Australian accents were the ones that were cutting over the top of everybody else.
Yeah.
Got to shoot with us now too.
Yeah. That's the thing about Australian punk. I love the Aussie humour and like bands like let's bring up the new band, the Chats.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the grandchildren of Cosmic Psychos. They were just like, boom. That's what I love about Aussie punk. Has just got that humour and and I find that with you guys, you know, you're like a lot of your music's deep, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of your music where you just pay out on everything, and that's what Aussies do. You know, we pay out on ourselves.
I think that's just, the Aussie sense of humour, I suppose. Like, I mean, I think for us, our music is pretty serious, but as people, we're all like pretty laid back, pretty funny. Like our funniest times are off staging in the car on the way to Melbourne or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the tour stories and the things we get up to is the most part of the fun. You know what I mean? Like getting to the shows and things like that. Like.
Yeah. What do you reckon of Nursery Crimes? They got their 30th anniversary this year. They're supposed to be. I don't know if they've played that gig at all yet, but have you ever played with?
I don't.
No.
No, I never played with them. Nah. Yeah, no? I don't know. Nah.
Okay. Dry mouth. So I'll leave the ball in your court for a while to have just give us a bit of information that you want to bring out with 5 minutes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's been a pretty quiet time for a minute, I suppose, with all COVID and stuff like that. So we don't have a lot to talk about, but things are starting to open up. We've got, like I was saying, we've got Europe coming up, and from what I can see, man, borders are going to be open for that. So we're pushing forward with that. We're playing we just got announced we're playing the Yours and Ours festival in April. So that's
mad.
Yeah, it's good for us to play a festival of that size in our own hometown because we get to do it overseas and stuff like that. But haven't had a lot of chance to play smaller festivals and things over here. But something of that like size is pretty good for us.
Yeah, that's pretty diverse. A lot of totally different genres of music, which is great.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll be filling our time up with chasing gigs up and down the East Coast. I guess we've already had messages come from Queensland and Victoria and stuff like that because we head up there as much as we can. And for a band like us, that's our bread and butter. We need those gigs to survive. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, definitely.
We need to get overseas. The merch sales, the record sales and stuff like that. So, yeah, like I guess that's pretty much what we'll be doing for the next maybe 6 to 7 months, as well as recording the next EP.
Yep, excellent. So yours and ours, that's mad. That's a bulleye, isn't it?
Oh, it's at the show, Stuart Park, yeah, showground.
Stuart Park, yeah. Excellent. I will be definitely making that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we can catch up and just do a little interview after you're playing that, and just while you're unwinding. Man. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, definitely. So, in Australia, who would be your favourite band to back you up, to support you if you toured Australia?
Oh, to support us.
Support you, yeah.
Oh, God, there's so many of them. I suppose it's hard to think of any, because you make so many mates when you're on the road and stuff like that.
It used to be. I mean, remember 15 years ago, it used to be the way where you would grab, one or two bands to come with you around all of your shows in Australia.
Yeah,
but I've noticed a shift in the last 5 years where
you just play with the locals.
Yeah, play with the local bands. It gives everyone a go and everything like that. That's a hard question.
Yeah, it's hard. I guess in Queensland, you'd have to say Frangipani's. It used to be Dune on the Rocks. A lot of this, I don't know who's going around. I guess in Melbourne, it'd be Kmart Warriors, Australian Kingswood Factory.
Unless you had someone you wanted to showcase, you've got to check these guys out. They're touring with us,
Yeah.
Unless there was someone like that.
We usually get put on bills at this point. Like, it's not like we don't go, okay, we're putting a show on and pick the support bands. We'll usually have someone putting on like a large show, and they'll say, hey, you guys want a headline? Yeah, sure. And then they'll say, oh, these are the bands you're playing with. And we go, oh, yeah, we know them. Cool. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not really us that picks the bands to support us.
Of course.
Go and putting on a local show. But man, the circle's pretty tight, man. The punk scene's like a family, and you pretty much know someone that's in that band, or you've played with them before in other bands or whatnot, man. It's like it's a family thing. It's really good.
Yeah, I tried to do the punk thing in the mid '80s and all that, and I realised I had no talent. So yeah, I didn't get to. I didn't get to.
No talent. What are you doing?
I fucking need 7 drinks before you get started. We'll call you 007.
No. I end up having to do the backstage work, kind of roadieing, and then after that, I end up building stages, setting up at festivals and everything. I always wanted to be in the music scene, and like I said, I couldn't be in a band because I can't sing for shit. I can't play an instrument. I was actually asked by Theo this is about 86. He came up to me, Theo from Thrust. I don't know if you remember Thrust or they were. Well, they had no bass guitarist, and he asked me. He said, "Oh, do you know how to play the bass?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, do you want me to teach you because we need a bass player?" And I said, "Yeah." And no. Yeah.
So you went with the rigging and the setting up. Don't worry, man. We've got a roadie that we take overseas with, and even he struggles with plugging shit in. And the other day, I thought my amp had blown up, and he turned all of the settings down and all the stuff off my amp. I'm looking at it going, I was working a second ago. I'm like, you're the roadie, what's going on here? And he goes, I don't know, man. I got home, tried out, turned everything off.
Yeah. So you do all your guitar tech and drum tech, or you do that yourselves?
Mostly, yeah. It's easier than having our roadie do it.
Yeah. By the sounds of things.
There's only so many people fit in a minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think Spiderboat, Regurgitator, and a few other bands, they did a tour around Australia called the 2-minute tour.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Cram about it, about why was it called the 2-minute? And he said, well, that's what they ate every night. They were in a van and they ate 2-minute noodles daily, and that was their thing. And there was Grin Spoon, Toe to Toe, Spider Bait Regurgitator, and and like you said, it's just one big family, you know.
Yeah, and that's it. And it would have been, man, we would have sat around and ate noodles together. It would have been shit.
Yeah.
Back in the early days, man, when we used to travel, it was the same with us. We were all on the dole, and you'd live off noodles because you're like, man, I'd rather drink beer when I get there. I'll eat noodles, blah blah blah. And I had a Maggi sticker on my guitar. I was like, man, they might as well be my sponsor because fucking I live off it even when I'm at home, so that I can have the money to go away to play gigs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely. Oh God.
It was on the
So
repat down it. I just fucking cut it off.
Where's that?
I'm actually pretty excited because my favourite Australian punk band is World War 24. Like, I love these guys. Seen these guys so many times, and I've got them coming up for an interview soon. Do you like the guy?
I don't know him well, but I've definitely crossed paths in the early days. Like, pretty sure we've done gigs with them and stuff. Like either at what was it called? What's not the old one where the Souls played at in Sydney and that
Globe?
Not the Globe. Oh, maybe the Globe. Like there was definitely gigs. There was definitely gigs up there in Sydney that we've played with them and seen them play. Iron Duke. Yeah, I used to play the Iron Duke with them and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I've seen that they're still doing stuff because I didn't know whether they were still going or not. Like they come and go here and there. Like yeah.
Well, they're probably one of the longest lasting bands in Australian punk. You know, they're like. I think in the Australian punks family, they'd be the elders.
Oh, for sure.
Because we don't have Rob Younger anymore. You know, we don't have the Saints. These guys have gone, and I don't even know what Chris Bailey's doing anymore. Like I haven't heard. I know Rob Younger's producing a lot of bands, and but have you got a good producer?
Man, we've got a mate that does all our recording and stuff, and it's Adam Jordan from Main Street Studios. And I mean, we usually do all our own like pre-production stuff. We know what we want when we get there, but he actually turns what we've got into what it turns out. You know what I mean? He doesn't sit there going, "Oh, you need to make this longer, cut this, blah blah blah." We've done that in pre-production, so it's pretty much what you hear is what we've written. Really. We produce ourselves, and he just knows the buttons to push, man. Like he'll come in and say, "What about this sound?" Or I don't know, that side of the thing, man. We write the songs, we take them to him, and he also does our video clips now as well. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop, and it works for us. And he's a good mate. Like he's our age. We get along really well together, and I can't imagine going anywhere. It's local to us. We don't have to travel or be away from home to record. So it's perfect for us. The sound that we want. So there's no real reason to venture anywhere else.
Yeah, definitely. The Hard-Ons are playing soon. Have you ever thought of trying to get on the bill with these guys?
We've played with them. Yeah, played with them.
Have you played with them as the 4-piece or the 3-piece?
Both. We've both played with both, but not with Tim Rogers fronting the band.
Why did that happen? I'm so upset about that, mate. It broke my heart when I found out.
I listened to the song and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, we've played with them a few times, and great guys,
And the thing is, I in the 80s, Cash used to come around my place for bongs and shit before the gig when they were playing at the Hopetown, and I I spoke to him about UMI once, and he said, "Oh my God, UMI, and now they've got Timmy in the band. What does that go? You know,
Yeah, all these years of fucking slogging it out the way they are. I mean, they did have a bit of shit go down recently, but maybe that was their way of trying to pull themselves out of a hole. I don't know. That's not for me to say. But
yeah, of course.
I think they made a mistake, but
yeah, I think I made a big mistake. I put in the same category as AC/DC grabbing Axl Rose. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah,
That was a fucking mistake too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people went to see that because they wanted to see what that would look like. But that would be about it.
And it was a train wreck.
Exactly.
Come and see the five-legged horse.
Yeah, I spit on your gravy. What do you think?
yeah, I honestly haven't heard much. I see their name around a bit. Haven't played with them, man. So, like,
Oh, really? Mm.
yeah, no. Have we? No, I don't think so.
I think I'd remember.
Well,
I know the name, but
Fred Negro, the singer Fred Negro, he's in a lot of bands like Brady Bunch, Lawn Massacre, the Fuck Knuckles, the Fuck Fucks.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he's
what was their name? They were mates with No Idea for a long time.
Yeah, they got the idiot. What are they called? They used to play that pub all the time. I know what you're talking
They used to
about.
play the art, and he'd be forever fucking a cantaloupe.
yeah. Oh, dude,
They
that's
played my 30th
yes,
birthday.
yes.
I played my 30th birthday, and all my family were there, and I had to ask Fred,
Can you not do it?
"Can you not do that tonight? Because no one wants to see your dick and a cantaloupe, or your dick and a cantaloupe. Like, no one wants to play that." And he happily obliged, which is not like him, you know. Like,
yeah.
I fully went into that question, thinking he'd say yes, and then just doing it anyway. But he actually obliged.
Excellent.
I can't remember.
Oh, man, I can't
And they're gonna hate me now.
So, yours and ours. When's that coming up? Because I haven't heard this year.
Like second and third, or
Second,
third
yeah,
and fourth
of April.
or
Yeah, it's
something.
like first weekend of April.
First weekend.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, because I this year's one was because of the COVID.
Yeah, they did like a half-assed one. I think they had like a seated type thing or something like that. I don't know how it worked, but we had mates bands play. I've seen footage from there, and yeah, I mean, I guess they were trying to keep the ball rolling. They'd already booked a lot of bands, and COVID's a shit thing, man. What do? Do you call it off? Do you half the crowd? Do you like, what do you do? Like, and I guess they dealt with dealt with what they could, man. Like, but yeah.
Yep. So what do you think about Fred Durst ruining the big day out for us? What's your opinion on that?
What did he do?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know the story. What did he do? I mean, I'm not surprised, but
Yeah, no, he was told a million times by security and everything to settle everybody down and get them to move back because everyone was getting squashed.
Oh yeah,
We were at that big
And
thing.
we were there. We
And-
were right next to that because we watched Drumstone, who played right before him.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I don't think
Control.
Limp Bizkit caused it. I think all the morons that were waiting all day in the stands and decided to rush all at once to the front of the stage
Yeah.
caused.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
certainly didn't help it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't play the most aggressive song straight after the show's been stopped for the third time and they're passing Limp Bizkit over the thing. Like,
It was full on.
you know, there's other songs to play. They could have, like, played something else, let it chill out for a bit and played that.
Yeah. Well,
It's hard when you're just getting every song's aggressive.
yeah, well, exactly. Exactly. Just like yeah. like Woodstock, I think it was Woodstock 99, where the the crowd had set alight everything that was you could burn. And the Chili Peppers, their last song, they decided to play Fire. You know what I mean? And they were thinking of suing, the companies were thinking of suing the Chili Peppers for that, but they showed them the song list, and the last song on the song list was Fire. So they didn't say, oh, you know, the place is burning, let's play Fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sort of the same sort of thing.
Like the bands of that caliber, they have a completely different setup to what we use. So if they're using inner-ear monitors, they could have security up the front of the stage yelling something at them. They're not going to hear it. They're going to hear any kind of feel coming from any instrument and their own voice coming through their cans. I had this debate with someone over recent things like that happened at shows. It would be, I mean, and we can't speak for those bands on those festivals, but we're the type of band that waits till after the show to have the party. Who knows what high caliber bands do before the gig? That's completely up to them. But obviously, there's, you know, you'd have to speak to those particular bands just to get their take on those events, to understand what had their attention at that time, because half the time we don't have those cans.
But when you're on stage, man, if you're seeing limp bodies going over and you're doing nothing about it, I mean, that's fucked up. But when you're on stage,
all the lights on,
exactly. That's right. Sometimes you can't even see to the fucking second row, even on some of the gigs that we play, man. And your adrenaline's there. You're fucking in the moment in the show, like it's
for sure.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, fuck, if you were getting told, hey, fucking stop the show, like stop the show. But there's probably reasons why things like that do happen.
Has there ever been a time when you've wanted to stop the show, or you've stopped a song because of something you've seen in the crowd?
There has, a few times.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the band. I wasn't even in Topnovil when they played Melbourne, and an incident went down at the art house, and I think they were just near the ending, but they capped the song early just to calm everyone down and deal with it. And it was like, you know, I won't mention what the incident was, but, you know, we're all friends there and everything like that. And that's what they spoke highly of. You can't ever be afraid to sacrifice how you're going to look on stage for the safety of the people who are trying to enjoy what they've come there for. And that's, you know, and I got to watch these guys actually do that, and you just have more fucking respect.
We've had a few, and we've had a few incidents like that where we've seen like someone unfairly being fucking grabbed by security and dragged out. Man, it happened to a friend of mine, and I was like, they've done nothing wrong. They were actually trying to break up fights and stuff in there, and the security guards grabbed them by the throat. I took my guitar off, put it down. This was in Queensland. Walked after the security guard. Hey! Fucking hell, man. You got 4 old punks fucking, I can't even count how many there's fucking here.
Oh, mate, I've only been into, we've got 10 more minutes, or about 8 more minutes. So we're gonna splice this bit in to what you were just saying before, and we'll do a wrap up now. Like we'll talk for another 5 minutes and then we'll wrap it up and everything. Oh, it's been great. Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, man. No, cheers for having us.
I'd make it a bit longer, but I've actually got the radio rejects at 2 o'clock. I don't know if have you ever heard of the radio rejects? Or?
Yeah, they were supposed to play the gig last week, but we're mates with them. Tara and their guitarist Mick got up with us and did Hopeless Romantic last week. We did a Bouncing Souls cover with them. So, yeah, we're good friends with them.
Man. Excellent. So we'll start doing a wrap up. Anything you guys want to say before we leave?
No, apart from thanks for having us.
Stay in school, fucking don't touch drugs. Fucking what do you want to hear? Stay in school.
Or what Iggy Pop said, don't take drugs. If people offer you drugs, take them and send them to me. Yeah. So So yeah, thank you guys.
Well, I was going to say, Lucko's going to say, if Lucko doesn't say it, I'll say it. We've had a similar deal with the with Waddy from the Exploited. We won't go too much into details, but yeah, very similar thing.
Fun was had.
I can imagine.
That was in fucking Czech Republic somewhere, I think.
At his expense.
At his expense.
Excellent. No, it's been great having you guys. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
That's good.
The show will be on YouTube in 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's
So yeah, excellent. I appreciate you guys saying yes to the interview, and thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you next time you play. That'd be just shit hot.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully it's before.
Yeah,
Keep you posted to
sure.
shows.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Excellent. Last thing is merch. Do you guys have shirts that I could buy?
Yeah, man. Just hit up the page. Yeah. Good.
Hit one of us up.
Just hit up the band page, man. We'll sort it out. We've got shirts.
Excellent.
whatever
Because
it
I
is.
want to get a shirt from every band I interview. So
Yeah, sweet, man.
that'd be great. No worries. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate
Cheers,
it.
Adam, man.
I hope you had a good time. I did.
No, man, it was awesome. Thanks, man.
Bye,
See
shut.
you, mate.
There you guys.
I'm heading out hungover cause there's things I've got to do. I've got no time to sleep it off, but it's great hanging out with you. Sharing drinks and sharing laughs, the stories and the lies. And if the cops come calling, you're my alibi. Cause I'm heading out hungover, there's things I've got to do. But if I could, you know I would stay hanging out with you. Yes, if I could, you know I would keep hanging out with you. Laughing, walking, singing, talking, and all that we could do. Sharing some laughs over the past and finding out what's new. Yes, if I could, you know I